There's certain genres of music that age better than others. Old hippie works. You know what I mean? Jer Bear, old with gray hair, Grateful Dead still work. That's why they had people following them around until their early 80s. I think they still do Dead & Co. now. It still works. Old hippie works. Old punk rocker, not so much. Old hair metal guy, when you're old like me, not so much. You know, it doesn't work. Like those guys had long hair. They dressed like they were in drag. That does not work as a 60-year-old man. It just doesn't.
But that's why I enjoyed the concert, because they weren't 60 then. They were 50. But
okay. It doesn't work that either.
But I'm just saying, it was hilarious because they were acting like they were 19, and I could not stop laughing.
Okay, First of all, right. That's to my point, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Mötley Crüe played, you recognized every song. Their least popular song was Saints of L.A., and even that was their like minor comeback, but they played everything from the 80s. But Vince was out there like, "Are you motherfuckers ready to rock? Fuck yeah!" And we're just like, dude, you're old. Just the way they were yelling, it was hilarious. Tough, but man. Poison was fucking boring for the 1 hour they were on stage. Mötley Crüe brought it because they were funny.
Well, I mean, Poison, come on, man. How many other hair bands are going to have as many hits as Mötley Crüe? That's why Mötley Crüe is headlining. You know what I mean? Sure. Like that's why they were headlining. Go ahead.
I've said this once before, not on the podcast. I talked about it just once. Mötley Crüe had, I believe, the most power in the 1980s of any band, because if you think about it, they came out first with makeup and leather and sort of, you know, the Shout at the Devil look, and a lot of bands copied that. So they said, okay, we can't do any of that anymore. Let's go glam. We'll put on glitter. And then every band, Bon Jovi, Kiss, you know, even Judas Priest put on glitter. So then for girls, they said, okay, we don't want to do glitter again. Let's just put on jeans and leather. And then every band started putting on jeans. Like Mötley Crüe set the tone for hair metal. Whatever Mötley Crüe did, every band did for their next album. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean, Mötley Crüe's got more hits than you can name. I mean, truly, like especially at the time. I mean, that's probably if I had to pick a band that this kind of defines the genre, and this truly was their genre. Whereas like Kiss is kind of a different thing. You know, Guns N' Roses is kind of a different thing. But like hair metal, Mötley Crüe is the king of hair metal.
I agree with you on Guns N' Roses, but that's how much power Mötley Crüe had. Is Kiss came out of the 70s, the biggest band in the world. Then they started to stumble, lost a couple members, took their makeup off, and Lick It Up, their first album without makeup, was sort of like leathery jeans, like Mötley Crüe adjacent. But then when Mötley Crüe went glam, Kiss went all glam. They went from fucking leaders of the pack to, oh, Mötley Crüe's doing it, we better do it too. Kiss, that was the one that surprised me, is how quickly Kiss became followers throughout the 80s, chasing trends instead of being trendsetters. So yes, to build on your point, Mötley Crüe was so big, they got Kiss to copy them throughout the 80s. And that blew my mind when that happened.
Well, I think that's because Kiss, to be fair, I will say, I don't think you get hair metal without Kiss. I think Kiss was kind of an early cartoon version of that, as if hair metal's not cartoony enough.
First album was sort of copying Kiss.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, Kiss was doing that in the 70s, you know, and they had full on like makeup, you know. But I think it became one of those things like, okay, are we going to keep doing this forever? There's another genre that's kind of based off of what we're doing. Let's go be that. I mean, I kind of get how, you know what I mean? Like, are we going to do Destroyer again? You know, I don't know how many times you can keep doing that with the makeup and everything when things are sort of changing. So I get why they would want to at least try to adapt to that.